In the early 1980s, the arcade world was on fire, and games like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong were dominating headlines, and every company wanted a piece of the action. But hidden among the giants was a lesser known title, a game that pushed players to their absolute limits. The first arcade game to break the billion-point barrier, and the people who dedicated their lives to mastering it. This is the story of Nibbler, the billion-point beast. Chapter 1: The Birth of Nibbler. In 1982, many non-gaming companies were fueled by the booming success, popularity, and of course the revenue made by most of the popular arcades at the time. And Rock-Ola Manufacturing Corporation were no different. A company that was better known for making jukeboxes rather than arcade games decided to step into the market, eager to cash in and grab their own piece of the pie. The result was Nibbler, a game that looked simple at first glance, but held a brutal challenge under the surface. Designed by 𝗕𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗍𝗍 and John Jalgalis, the game took a familiar concept, guiding a snake through a maze, and added its own unique spin. The snake didn't just grow as you played, it also moved faster, making each level more intense and strategic. Just think Snake on your old Nokia phone, cranked up to 11. It combines the movement and gameplay of Gremlin's 1976 arcade game Blockade with the high score obsession of Namco's 1980s Pac-Man. Just think of Nibbler as the hyperactive love child and you're halfway there. But what truly made Nibbler stand out at the time was a score counter that could exceed 1 billion points, which was a first in arcade history and one which set it apart from the rest of the competition. Rock-Ola even presented a challenge to players. The first person to reach the 1 billion point milestone would be given a Nibbler arcade machine free of charge. This incentive was a big deal at the time. Arcade cabinets were expensive and highly sought after, which made it a favourite amongst high score chasers, sparking fierce competition amongst the best players of the world. And unlike other popular games at the time, Nibbler didn't rely on catchy mascots or flashy graphics. It was all about skill, strategy and endurance. Games could last hours, sometimes even days, especially if you were determined to hit that elusive billion-point milestone. Chapter 2: Objective and Gameplay. The game consists of 32 unique waves, each repeating with different colour variations. After reaching wave 99, the game loops endlessly through waves 80 to 99. You control a snake using a 4-directional joystick, and your goal is to eat every pellet. These small shaped square objects are scattered throughout each maze. You must consume all of them to clear the level, and each pellet that you eat adds points to your score. Simple, right? Wrong. Because each pellet you consume makes the snake grow longer, which in turn makes the maze harder to navigate. And your goal is to consume all of them to complete the level, whilst the speed keeps increasing. It's a brutal cycle. And if that wasn't hard enough, hitting walls or running into your own tail meant game over. It was a battle of planning, reflexes, and pure determination. Chapter 3: The Billion-Point Warriors. In 1984, a teenager from Ottumwa, Iowa named 𝗕𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗍𝗶 achieved gaming immortality by becoming the first person to officially score over 1 billion points. But what was more impressive is that 𝗕𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗍𝗶 achieved this using a single quarter. This wasn't just a quick gaming session, it was a grueling 44-hour marathon of relentless focus, endurance and skill, whilst battling exhaustion and the physical toll of standing 2 days straight. The challenge took place at the famous Twin Galaxies arcade in Ottumwa, Iowa, founded by Walter Day in November 1981, which was renowned as the hub for competitive gaming and high score tracking during the golden age of arcades. It was at this legendary venue that 𝗕𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗍𝗶 achieved his historic feat. Though 𝗕𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗍 could have continued playing, he decides to call it quits and heads home, requesting a plate of macaroni and cheese from his mum before crashing for a 36-hour sleep. In the following months, 𝗕𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗍𝗶 rose to local fame. He was awarded the key to the city and an official 𝗕𝗶𝗃 Day was declared in his honour. And as 𝗕𝗶𝗃 expands Twin Galaxies into the leading video game scorekeeping organisation, 𝗕𝗶𝗃 becomes one of its standout figures, with this Nibbler marathon etched into gaming history as a legendary achievement. Chapter 4: The Challenges. Before 𝗕𝗶𝗃 became the first person to achieve a score of 1 billion points on Nibbler, another player who came very close to hitting the milestone was Italian kickboxer Enrico Zanetti, who attempted to reach the 1 billion mark and got extremely close, with a score of approximately 800 million points. His attempt was cut short due to fatigue, and he wasn't able to complete the full 1 billion point run. His effort, however, was significant enough to spark attention and further motivate other players, including 𝗕𝗃, to take on the challenge, proving that Zanetti's near miss was pivotal in demonstrating that the 1 billion point threshold was possible, adding to the excitement and competition around Nibbler at the time. However, years later, 𝗕𝗃 discovers that Zanetti claims to have surpassed his score in September 1984, after Zanetti was inspired reading about 𝗕𝗃's achievement in the Italian video game magazine Videogiochi, simply translated, video game. Italian TV news footage captures Enrico Zanetti breaking the high score and basking in his newfound celebrity status. While 𝗕𝗃 admits Zanetti likely earned the record fair and square, Twin Galaxies' 𝗕𝗏 dismisses it, arguing the score is invalid since no official referee witnessed the feat. Zanetti remains unbothered and satisfied simply knowing he achieved the score. And despite this, 𝗕𝗏 is determined to reclaim his title and buys a Nibbler machine of his own to prepare for the challenge. And one last honourable mention is Tomasaki from Idaho, a prominent figure of the early 80s, known for his endurance gaming skills and strategic approach to marathon games. He actually managed to surpass 700 million points before his game ended due to him accumulating 127 reserve lives, which caused a glitch in the machine, which reset, made the game crash abruptly, ending his attempt. Chapter 5: A Cult Following. Nibbler experienced a significant resurgence in the 2010s, fueled by nostalgia for classic arcade gaming and a renewed interest in endurance-based records. Though it never achieved the mainstream fame of titles like Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, Nibbler's unique challenge, the potential to reach 1 billion points on a single credit, kept it alive in the hearts of dedicated gamers. The resurgence was largely driven by the 2015 documentary Man vs. Snake: The Long and Twisted Tale of Nibbler, which chronicled the story of 𝗕𝗏𝗃's historic 1984 billion point run and the efforts of modern players like Dwayne Richard and Enrico Zanetti to reclaim or surpass the record. The documentary not only brought attention to Nibbler's grueling physical and mental demands, but also highlighted the passionate community surrounding it. As retro gaming grew in popularity, arcade enthusiasts revisited Nibbler for its blend of strategy, reflexes and endurance. The game appeared at classic arcade conventions and gaming expos, drawing attention from a new generation of players who admired its brutal simplicity and marathon potential. Nibbler's resurgence stands as a testament to the timeless appeal of old school gaming, where the thrill of high scores, the endurance of the player and the love of competition continue to captivate and inspire. And for the players who dared to take on Nibbler, it wasn't just a game, it was an obsession, a test of endurance and a shot of arcade immortality. So guys, what do you think? Could you handle the pressure of chasing a billion points on Nibbler? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for listening, take care, and bye for now.